You know, the thing about, I guess the misconception about NHL goalies is that they're complete, they're finished, there's nowhere else to go with them. And the reality is that they're human beings. As much as they look superhuman at times, they're fallible, just like the rest of us. So in each case, you're looking at really getting into finer details with those guys. So in my case, I'll give you an example with John Gibson, who was a highly athletic goaltender. It's reining him in and trying to remind him consistently about playing a controlled game. And so a lot of the details that we work on are specific to being more controlled in the net. Where you take a Frederick Anderson, who is a very controlled goaltender, and now you have to work on details like his hands, working on how quickly he fades back into the net, working on his rebound control, things like that. So there's, although the skill set that you're working on isn't as large as with a younger goaltender, you're working on more smaller details, but there's still things that you still have to address on a consistent basis. As far as the routine that you'd go through, in most cases, again, at the NHL level, it's shocking. People would be shocked to know how little practice time they have. You think that there's so much access to ice, but you put in travel time, you put in the schedule, you put in workloads, and all of those factors into it, and suddenly now those goaltenders that you thought you had a heck of a lot of time with, you're suddenly down to a very limited amount of practice time, because you still have to keep them fresh, because after the game they're flying off cross country to go play the next night. So there's a lot of what we do when we have time is based around getting out on the ice, half hour, 40 minutes if you're that fortunate, sometimes 20 minutes, 15 minutes, to work on movement skills, making sure that their movements are nice and crisp. And then a lot of times, you'll see a series of goals go in that are similar. And so you would take those scenarios and set up drills based on those scenarios to make sure that in that specific example, if that example shows itself again, that now suddenly they'll be more prepared to handle it.